Hello and welcome to another episode of Freaky Fettuccine. On tonight's episode, apparently scary stories aren't enough. We have to have stories of my creepy OC can beat up your creepy OC. And this is one of them. But is it? I don't know. It's gonna be weird and wacky in Jeff the Killer versus Jeffrey the Killer. Ding dong asterisk went the door, and with that a 14-year-old boy ran down the stairs of his home, jumped to the door, and opened it. As he did this, thinking it was his girlfriend, he started to say, "Hey, babe!" But all he got to say was, "Heh!" End quote, but there was no open quote. Before getting his throat slashed open, he tried to let out a scream for his parents, but nothing came out. Then the boy got a good look at who had done that to him. It was, quote-unquote, Jeff the Killer, he finally said, ? Then Jeff saw that the boy was about the same age as when he had got hurt this bad. Still, Jeff tried to stay strong, powerful. That didn't help, because as we all know, Jeff the Killer's got a really soft heart for literally everyone. "Look," he said, "I'm not going to put you to Kip, only..." There was a pause for a couple of seconds. Then Jeff said, "Only because I know what sympathy is, and I finally have the feeling of regret for something of my own doing. This is grossly out of character, and we're 2 fucking paragraphs in. Oh my god, everyone will do anything to justify this stupid ass OCs." With that, he took the boy by his legs and dragged him back to Jeff's old house, where he stitched up the boy's throat. Did the parents not do anything about this? Like, they just stood there like, some old 14-year-old Scottish Welsh psycho slit my son's throat. Oops, I guess we're gonna leave him to bleed out, because he definitely would have bled out by then. Jeff asked, "What's your name?" The boy replied with, "My name is Jeffrey. Why?" Jeff answered, now looking surprised. "Martha? Why did you say that name? That's gonna destroy the entire versus conflict. My name is Jeffrey too, but really even my parents used to call me Jeff for short." "Cool," said Jeffrey, now gagging for air. "I don't really care. That's a very minor detail." "Why do you look so glum and sad? Regretful? I mean, you're Jeff the Killer, not He didn't actually know what to say. What?" said Jeff. Next, with a sigh, Jeffrey said, "Average person," he finally let out. The caring expression on Jeff's face disappeared. It turned to a surprised, disappointed expression. "Please learn how to use a semicolon." Jeff's mouth dropped open wide and he started to cry. Jeffrey couldn't believe this. Jeff the Killer was crying. It actually had nothing to do with him. Jeff the Killer just watched Coco. But Jeff wiped the tears away and said, actually calm, "Okay, I understand. Somehow, I guess I'm the only person who fucking does. But just get out of here now," said Jeff, now breathing hard. Then Jeffrey slowly got up and walked out, not aware of what was going to happen with him and Jeff later. "Dude, get on the ride, you sissy," said Jeffrey's friend Chris with no transition. "Okay, this time I agree with Chris, you're being a sissy," said Jeffrey's girlfriend Christina. "Fine, I'll go on the ride." They were talking about the new ride at an amusement park they were at very late, near its closing time. No, none of them were talking about the fact that Jeffrey got his throat slit open by a serial killer who let him go for reasons. So naturally, Jeffrey went on it. It was $5 and it could make you throw up. So when he got on it, he saw another man coming. He paid, got on, and took off the hood on his coat that was surrounding his face. To Jeffrey's surprise, it was Jeff. Jeff inspected Jeffrey for a second, then said, in a creepy voice, "Go to Kip for what you did!" Then Jeff screamed and jumped off the ride, scared by this 14-year-old he almost murdered, who happens to be named Jeffrey. Actually, to his surprise, he was fine. Maybe a little dusty, but fine. he to both his friend Chris and his girlfriend Christina and told them that they needed to go now. They just stared at him, though. Jeffrey, seeing that they were either amazed with what he had just done, or they were looking behind him with fear. When he realized that was the case, he said, "Oh, come on, he did that too!" Jeffrey ducked as he knew a knife was aiming for his head. Wait, Jeffrey was the one who jumped off? Loser Jeffrey and not Chad Jeff the Killer? I hate myself for saying Chad Jeff the Killer, but pronouns and referring to other people, dude, it's not hard. Then it hit his friend Chris. Motionless Chris fell and died almost instantaneously. Then Jeff grabbed Jeffrey's girlfriend and was about to slit her throat when Jeffrey screamed, "No!" and punched Jeff right in his nose and broke it. Does Jeff have a nose? Wasn't that like a thing that got cut off or burned off when he was pouring bleach on himself to get that creepy photoshopped look? And punched Jeff right in his nose and broke it. It fell off his face! I guess it doesn't particularly matter. I guess Jeffrey is now an integral part of the Jeff the Killer origin story. Now Jeff, knows less, carved his knife into Jeffrey and twisted it. Christina could tell that Jeffrey was in pain, so she kicked Jeff the Killer, and he turned around, this time not hesitating to slide his knife into her heart. She fell and bled out in a matter of seconds, unlike Jeffrey, because... Then Jeff turned around to see Jeffrey on his knees begging to live. Jeff saw him like he saw him that one day at Jeffrey's house. Jeff's smile faded to a closed mouth with a carved smile on it. Jeff knew what he wanted to do, and also knew that he didn't want to do it anymore. Why? What has this little asshole done to convert Jeff the Killer to not killing him? Jeffrey said, crying, "Please, Sniffle, please let me live. I'm sorry for whatever I did to you. I swear I didn't mean it." Even though Jeff didn't want to kill him, he couldn't help it, and said, "Go, tip, keep." Finally, Jeff lunged at Jeffrey and ended everything, and then also at the same time fell with Jeffrey. Were they back in the fucking car? Because the man running the machine had called the police and they shot him. I can't even be mad. That's what should happen to Jeff the Killer if he somehow survived bleach and burn wounds. 3 years earlier. "Okay, Jeff. We know that you came back to your body. Well, your soul came back to your body for a reason. What is that reason?" said the man running the psychic center. "Because I need to kill at least one more person if I'm going to rest," said Jeff. The man was cut off when he got impaled by a car. Not of Jeff's hands, but of another member's hands who had just escaped. The man gave him a thumbs up and drove away. "Well, if you insist on letting me out, how can I resist? I do need to kill someone, don't I?" What the fuck was that last paragraph? What did that have to do with anything? What did anything have to do with anything? Oh my, there was no killing from Jeffrey the Killer. Does no one read these while they're writing them?